It is that time of year again when ghouls and goblins come out to play.
Yeah, for humans, it's a whole lot of fun, but it can be frightening for our four-legged friends we know. Joining us live with scares you'll want to avoid with your pets, our resident veterinarian, Eric Ruhland. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
All right, this is the week a lot of people are not only dressing up themselves, but they're dressing up the pups.
It's a fun week for
And
a
the
lot
cats.
of people. Yes.
It's fun for a lot of people.
Some people are hardcore Halloweeners, some people not so much.
Yeah.
I get into it more now that my son is,
Totally, me
he's 8.5.
Yeah,
Oh.
perfect
And when I was in
age.
college, when I was a freshman, sophomore in college, I think like a lot of us, you get into Halloween. But as a family, we never, like growing up, I never did,
Yeah,
But
so your 8-year-old's going to enjoy a lot of candy,
Yeah.
but let's talk about the fact that the
Yeah.
pets will not enjoy this candy at all. What happens
most
here?
pets do not enjoy Halloween. Some of our dogs that come home to a big bountiful harvest of chocolate, as we all know. But there's other things too that we got to be thinking about. I mean, most people think about chocolate, but things like xylitol gums, like some people hand out gum or sugar-free gums. That is really dangerous to dogs. And when there's packs and packs of that laying around, xylitol can cause a really rapid drop in a dog's blood sugar and can actually kill them. So be aware of that stuff. And obviously all of the other candies. So if you got a new dog or cat this last year, like a lot of people did in the pandemic, you're not sure like how food motivated is this dog. Usually the unsealed bags aren't a problem, like that are just sitting around. Obviously keep that stuff up. But for my son, he comes home, he's been trick-or-treating all night, half of the wrappers are open. They're sitting in the bottom of his bag, and all of a sudden he leaves them on the floor. Those are the ones you gotta be really careful of, because that smell is in there, and those dogs will go in there, and they'll just eat all the wrappers and everything. I've done it multiple times where I've had to go into a dog's stomach and clean out all that stuff
Yeah.
2 or 3 or 4 days later. So
You don't want to do that. And yeah, that gum is really important not to.
Yes.
Because my dog loved spearmint gum or any
Yep.
kind of mint. They love that. So good to know. All right. Now, there is one particular treat that we eat a lot of over the holidays. I know, Don, you're not the biggest fan of pumpkin, but you know what? It's very healthy. It's good for you. And let's say you're scooping out the pumpkin. Can you just give your dog just raw pumpkin?
Totally fine, yes. They're probably not going to eat it because it's not super flavorful. Once it's been cooked and you get that sugar level up, then they probably will. But yes, it's totally fine.
Okay.
What about the seeds? I'm assuming you just got to
Seeds are fine.
Seeds
yeah.
are fine.
Seeds are totally fine.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. It won't be at my house anyway, so the little king will not need to worry about getting pumpkin as a treat. Okay, it's a big night for pets. Heads up. To run away and be scared?
Yes, so there's a lot of obviously scary characters coming to your front door. If you've got a bolter of a dog tonight, along with some of our other holidays like the 4th of July, next Sunday night, we're going to probably see more pets run away than any other night in the fall. So just be aware. Please secure your dogs in a kennel if they are fearful and if they have fear aggression problems. Sometimes you have somebody, and I've seen it out of one of my old dogs, where somebody comes up with a costume and a dog that you would never think would be fear aggressive, all of a sudden sees a witch and they're like, oh my God, and they attack them. So be aware that you may see behaviors out of your pets that you would never have expected. So,
and you think about kids coming to the door in costume and the door is open, and that's just ripe for
the other problem
dog escaping.
The other problem, Alex, with kids is they're at eye level with the dog. So like a witch is way up here, the dog may run away or whatever, but when you have a kid that's that tall and it's right at the level of the dog, that becomes really intimidating.
Yeah. Okay, so costumes. Let's talk about some safe costumes, and there's some big mistakes people make. There's some dangerous ones.
Yes. So to start out with, costumes on pets look cute, they're fun and everything. The reason I didn't bring Butter in a costume today is she does not tolerate them. She hates anything being on her and she'll rip it off. If you have a dog that does that right away, don't push the subject. The issue that I see a lot of times is rubber bands or compressive things that can constrict blood flow. A couple of years ago, I had to take a tail off we had to amputate a tail from a dog because someone wrapped a rubber band around the tail to try to put an additional tail on, or on their legs. Do not constrict or don't put anything. And if the dog will tell you right away, or cat will tell you if they don't like it, because they will immediately start to bite at it. If they do that, just get it off them right away. And they'll let you know. This dog had been trying to do that for a while, and
it seems like it's just common sense.
You would think so, and these were pretty good owners, and they were really good owners, and they just kind of didn't realize it, and the rubber band could stay on there, and it was the same color as the dog's fur.
So it stayed on for multiple hours or days.
They're, or like I said, distal limbs like legs or necks or muzzles, like that kind of thing. Be careful. Just be aware of that stuff. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting because yeah, I definitely put little King in a tiny little like sweater thing, you know, that was really cute for Halloween, and he instantly just started running circles and trying to nip at it, and we took it off.
Yep.
Never again, never again, Dr. Eric. Okay, so we know too, and you kind of, I think you talked about this a little bit, but the doorbell and then the strangers can stress out the pets. You talked about them running away and getting scared.
Yes.
But is it just a simple? I'll be honest, our dog barks at everything that comes to the door, so
Yeah.
we just kennel him and put him in the basement for
That's
the night.
exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
That, or if grandma and grandpa could watch them for a night, or
Yeah.
you know, somebody that's not going to be seeing a lot of trick-or-treaters. I know at my house we'll have probably about 1,200 trick-or-treaters. Butter will be in her kennel in the back corner of the house for the whole night. And I actually disable the doorbell for the night because it's always getting rung. So I actually just take it off, or just put a sign over it that says please do not use the doorbell, because if that's going off every 15 minutes, those dogs are going to be really, really amped up. And then people should be talking to their veterinarian too. If you know you've got a door, you know, a fearful dog or an anxious dog, they can prescribe something specifically for those nights, you know. Gabapentin, trazodone, some of those anti-anxiety meds work really, really, really well. So.
Okay, yeah, good advice. So we want to be kind to our pets,
Yes.
even though we love Halloween and we love dressing your dogs and cats up maybe, but just to maybe keep it to Instagram and then
Halloween
just let it
doesn't
go.
make sense to a lot of humans, and then you try to rationalize it to a dog like Butter, and she's definitely not going to get it. So.
Not on board. Just give me a treat. That's all I need. I'm good.
Yeah, have lots of treats on standby, I'm guessing. All right, Dr. Eric Ruhland, thank you so much for
guys.
joining us this
Have
morning.
a happy Halloween.
You
Have
too.
fun.
Thank you.
And for more information, you can head to stpaulpet.com.